Homecoming festivities underway here at Bragg Memorial Stadium. Texas Southern on the return. Just tripping and falling. Special teams covering things up for Florida A&M. Ball will be placed around the 21, and that's where the Tigers get started. Tigers on offense this year, scoring just about 20 points per game and ready to take on this stout Florida A&M defense. It will be Jace Wilson, the transfer from Furman. Threw an interception last week, but did have a rushing touchdown. He starts at QB for TSU. Will be a run on first down. And a nice pickup towards the first down marker. And it will be enough for a first down for the Tigers.
A great way to establish the run. Nice hold there on the left side of that line. Hit that C gap and moving the chains to get things started here for Texas Southern.
Yeah, Athian Renfro, the sophomore from Beaumont, went to Beaumont United High School. Now Texas Southern's going to spread everyone out. 4 wide at the disposal of Wilson. Wilson fires quickly to his tight end, Jiron Johnson, and he is hit immediately. Excellent tackle in the open field made by Jamil Sanders. Second down and long.
Yeah, really quick release there by Wilson out in the flat, but would have been better off if the ball would have fallen incomplete. Lost a couple of yards there, lost about 2.
Now this Rattlers defense is third best in the conference in pass defense, allowing just 171 yards per game. So you know those DBs are going to be able to make tackles in the open field.
It's going to be hard to go over the top of this FAMU defense, but let's see what Texas Southern can maybe set up and catch them off balance. Another run there.
Now the front firing on all cylinders for FAMU. Maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage was Renfro. So now it's third down and 11. And these Rattlers can peel their proverbial ears back.
You know, they came up with 2 sacks last week against Southern. This team has faced a lot of running teams this year. Haven't had a chance to put as much pressure on the quarterback just due to scheme as they would like throughout the season. Opportunity
Wilson,
here.
quick throw, then dropped by Trenton Leary. Ball falls incomplete, so after picking up 1 first down on the first play of scrimmage, Texas Southern has to punt the ball away.
And, you know, that's really an evolving style of football, James. Even when you're not running the ball, those short passes can really, you know, act as a hybrid run to quickly get the ball out in space to see if your offensive player can turn, see the defense, and make a move. But the FAMU defense very stout on this first series.
And now there is a flag on the plate.
False start. Offense. Number 4. 5-yard penalty. Remains fourth down.
So that does not help Texas Southern.
Well, they had a good first down run, but everything has been going backwards ever since for Texas Southern here on this first series. FAMU should get a nice opportunity here to get a punt return.
They almost blocked the punt, maybe got a piece of it, as it will take a Texas Southern roll, so the Tigers will be happy that the ball at least got away, as Jeremy Ramirez was under duress on that punt attempt. Ball ends up getting to about the 30-yard line, a 43-yard punt with no return for the Tigers, as the Florida A&M offense ready to come out after scoring 24 points last week. And Daniel Richardson, extremely dynamic for Florida A&M. We talked about what he brings to this team, throwing for more than 7,000 yards at 2 prior destinations before coming here. And he is the man at the controls for Florida A&M.
All right, Texas Southern lining up in a little zone here on the near side, man up top, and with the blocker.
Easy throw out to Levante Somerset, and Somerset is slung down near the first down marker. It will be enough for a first down. You see what Daniel Richardson has done in FBS this season. Top 25 in numerous categories, and that completion percentage at 10th of any quarterback slinging it. Not too shabby.
And you talk about having a professional style quarterback. That's what he gives you. Composure in the pocket, ability to complete the ball at a high percentage rate.
Somerset shimmying forward past the 45 to the 46, not wanting to go down on first contact, but there's a lineman looks
Officials
to be
timeout
down
for an injury.
for Florida A&M.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's hurting him there. Looks like a lower body.
Full timeout.
So while Florida A&M tends to Gabriel Nance, we'll be back in. We take a look at how he got hurt, and you see this often sometimes on running plays. At the end of a play, a lineman getting rolled up on, and you see at the left part of your screen just being rolled up on. And
Yeah, and that's actually Nathan Gates. He had a number change. He's a lineman, a redshirt freshman from Huntington Beach, and just kind of happens. You don't see it. You're still holding on to your block, and unintentional, but someone's on the ground rolling and just kind of buckles that knee from behind. Wish him well. Hopefully, he'll be able to make a return to the game.
so a 6-yard carry was the result of the play by Levante Somerset. First drive for Florida A&M after forcing Texas Southern to punt after just 4 plays. Daniel Richardson has the snap, looking to throw to the outside. A nice little shimmy move. Excellent catch made by the wide receiver, Kalani Norris.
And that play works because Norris goes in motion and the Texas Southern defense does not account for him. He just flashes out to the flats, makes the first defender miss. Texas Southern just kind of lost him there.
Quick throw to the outside this time. A nice hit at the 35. But again, multiple players are going to get a chance to receive the ball. That was the freshman Goldie Lawrence, transfer from Florida State.
Yeah, last week, 9 receivers had touches.
Now it's time for today's Impact Players, presented by GM.
Texas Southern is Quintel Quinn, averaging about 65 yards per game. Keelan Cox, he's the leading sack man for Texas Southern. He has 3 on the season.
Trying to find Levante Somerset as he worked right up into the hole. This should be a 3rd down and manageable.
And for FAMU, we're going to talk a lot about those impact players. James Ash, he had a sack last week, the transfer from Wake Forest. And, of course, Jamari Gassett. At some point, James, he's going to do something today that will delight this homecoming crowd.
Gassett not on the field right now on this 3rd down. 1 for 1 on 3rd down today. The tight end, Kobe Gross, goes in motion. Richardson not looking that way. He's going to try to take off and run, and he stopped before the line to gain. So Keelan Cox, we just mentioned him as an impact player, swallows up Richardson. 4th down.
See Richardson there. It looks like a design run, but boy, he runs right into 2 defenders, and not a big rusher on the year, but trying to throw Texas Southern off balance, but the Tigers were ready for that one.
Yeah, Richardson with -9 rushing yards because, of course, sacks go to the rushing statistics. So on 4th down, Richardson goes under center on play action, finds Pruitt, has a long way to go, and Jeremiah Pruitt makes the move to gain the 1st down.
All right, so that's a good design play call, but Pruitt has to do his part. All right, you see he's going to catch the ball here. He has to make this defender miss, or it is not a 1st down. He goes to the outside, not only makes him miss, makes him lose his helmet in the process.
Former 3-star recruit out of Atlanta, Georgia, started his career at Colorado State. Now making moves here at Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium. 1st down for Florida A&M as they inch towards the red zone on their 1st drive. Richardson, clean pocket, scoots out to the right side. Somerset, a smooth shake, beating the first defender, but the Cavalry came home for Texas Southern. Tackle made by Umar Yarrow. 2nd down.
And Somerset just gives a little chip block there in the backfield and then hurries up and finds open space, and Richardson's able to hit him there, pick it up a couple of yards.
And Richardson makes smart decisions, right? Nothing down the field, go to your safety valve. Now it's second down and manageable for the Rattlers. Norris goes in motion, but the hand will come to the opposite side. Lots of green grass. Kelvin Dean running over a defender. He goes into the red zone.
And the receiver in motion, it appeared like it might be a jet sweep. It gets the defense to move. Instead, it goes to Dean.
Ball at the 5. Dean shimmies behind the line. He's tackled short of the end zone at the 2. But the Rattlers can sense it right now.
It's interesting. I see Gassett on the sideline. Has not been in. But he is on the sideline with his uniform there.
Coach Colsey said it's hard sometimes because he's trying to give the ball to everyone. And Gassett being a team man, not even in on this first drive. Kelvin Dean is the running back. Totes the rock. Dean stood up right at the goal line. It will be third down and goal for Florida A&M.
Good play that time by Texas Southern, not giving up the touchdown. It was a battle in the trenches. FAMU's going to have to take another shot at it here.
Two tight ends on the right side of the line. Pruitt goes in motion. It will be a throw. Richardson firing. Has a man. Touchdown, Florida A&M. Quan Lee.
And Lee just takes the defender to the inside. And before he sets, breaks to the outside corner of that end zone. Great route, great pass, touchdown, FAMU.
Daniel Richardson, 6 for 6 on the drive. And the final pass, a beauty to Quan Lee. Richardson's 15th touchdown pass of the season. And Florida A&M with the early lead, 6-0 on top of Texas Southern. Extra point is on its way, and it is good from
start this year.
Ball is away and a chance to return for Sean Xavier Lewis of Texas Southern. He motors towards the 25, Texas Southern's second drive. And Tolly, they got a first down on their first play, but then things kind of stifled that FAMU defense as good as we expected on that first drive.
Yeah, a top 25 defense in terms of against the pass. Texas Southern came out with a lot of short yardage passing, some things out to the flats, and FAMU was not fooled in position. Let's see what Texas Southern dials up here on this second series, James.
Quintel Quinn out at running back had the game-winning touchdown last week over Grambling. Jace Wilson still running things for the Tigers. Quinn shimmies through the line, and he squirts forward for a nice gain of about 3. Was a helmet that came off, so that was Quinn, so he'll have to come out. And Atheon Renfro, who had 10 yards on that first carry of the game, back out for TSU. Rushing-wise, Texas Southern averages just about 155 rushing yards per game.
You know, it's interesting. Wilson's passing numbers last year a lot higher. He was a SWAC newcomer of the year last year. Different team, obviously. Had Ladarius Owens as the run here doesn't go for much. The top rusher in the SWAC last year, which can open up things in your passing game. So different personnel this year, but we do know that Wilson does have the capability to sling it because we saw it last season.
Yeah, also at Furman, threw for more than 1,500 yards and 4 touchdowns. Has the ability, going to have to put it in the air here after the 1-yard loss.
All right, another third and long here for Texas Southern.
Wilson pumping right, now trying to shake away, but he will not find an avenue away from the All-American James Ash. A sack for Florida A&M and a 3-and-out for Texas Southern.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to stay in the pocket that long. He did have Quintel Quinn open, kind of glanced over there, didn't pull the trigger. And if you stay back there with the happy feet for that long bouncing around. FAMU is going to get to you.
Kalani Norris back out to receive this punt. Jeremy Ramirez, who was under a lot of pressure the last time, just got it away. Looks like Florida A&M might come after it again.
Yeah, that last ball is homecoming. It did the wobble.
And Ramirez once again just gets it away. And Norris just grabs it near the 50. So good field position again for Florida A&M as they look to make it back-to-back scoring drives to start this homecoming game against Texas Southern. All week, we've seen chicken, we've seen ribs.
Did you get a plate? I didn't get a plate. Did you get a plate?
I wish I could have, as Kelvin Dean can't find any room on the left side, but there was so much food. Felt like grandma's house. Sad that I didn't get a chance to get anything.
Well, I can assure you that this week, whoever made the potato salad, it is proper. There is no potato salad worries at all for FAMU's homecoming.
And there are plenty of former Rattlers here, as there's an expectation for more than 25,000 on campus for this homecoming matchup. Florida A&M leads 7-0 after scoring on their first drive. Rattlers now on their second. Richardson on second down. Throws over the middle. And that ball is caught.
Yeah, found his safety valve just right inside that zone defense there. He was looking to go to the outside on the perimeter. Didn't pull the trigger there. Didn't like the coverage. And nice check down to move the chains.
Yeah, Jeremiah Pruitt made the grab. He's the one that had the important catch on fourth down to keep the last drive going. Now it's 3rd down and 4 for Florida A&M. All out the 44 in Texas Southern territory. Thad Franklin hits after maybe gaining a yard. So it will be 4th down and 3. There is an expectation that Florida A&M might go for it as they did on the last drive, but now being waved off the field. So Texas Southern with a stop of the Rattlers as Gunnar trots out to punt the ball away.
You know, when you look at the stats on the year for these teams, they're really very similar. So do not just, have the casual fan approach like, oh, it's homecoming, FAMU is going to win. These teams offensively in the conference are 5-6, defensively 7-8. And that might bear itself out if the Texas Southern offense can get things going.
Nose down. Trenton Larry is going to call for a fair catch inside the 5. Now, Chris Dishman, who knows a thing or two about stopping offenses, sends his offense out onto the field. And as you can see, 5 different coaches with NFL experience. Coach Dishman, who played with Houston, who played with Kansas City, was a 2-time All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowler, bringing that NFL experience to this staff to then have it find its way throughout all the different position groups for Texas Southern.
And that really helps a program when you're trying to get players to the next level because coaching, you understand the pacing of what happens in an NFL practice and able to bring some of those best practices to these HBCU programs.
Quintel Quinn, 3 yards in his own end zone, takes this handoff, tries to shake within the line, showing great strength as he continues to pursue forward past the 10 to the 11. And a nice pickup for Texas Southern to get out of the shadow of their own end zone on 1st down.
Yeah, not a first down there, but it gives them room to operate. It reduces the anxiety level when you take that 3-step drop in your own end zone.
7-yard gain from Quinn. 2nd down and 3 for the Tigers. But then some movement on the line. This might be the 2nd false start of the day.
False start. Offense, number 31. Simulating the start of the play. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So we shout out Quinn for his strong run, and then is a little jittery and has some early steps. And now it's 2nd down and long.
And you're back in that position of a little bit of offensive anxiety. You don't want to get into the end zone and risk a fumble or risk a safety when you're that close, as you see right there, Wilson, right on the 1-yard line.
Quinn trying the left side. This time stopped in the mix of the line. Will be third down and long for Texas Southern, who has picked up just one first down on the day.
In their third offensive series of the game, James, and for the third time in a row, they face a third and long and potentially a 3 and out here. Defense stepped up on their previous series to try to give some life to the Tigers, but the offense is going to have to find the cadence and some consistency here to move the ball down the field.
Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Florida A&M leads by a touchdown. Texas Southern trying to get their offense in motion.
Got that bunch formation up top here.
Wilson looking that way, and the pass is incomplete. Kirian Charlo was the intended target. It hit him in the hands. Would have been short even after making the catch, but it's still a 3 and out for Texas Southern, and the penalty hurting them on that one.
Yeah, and coming out of that bunch, McKinney was running wide, was running open as he ended up with the crossing route there over the middle. But they go up top there and not able to complete the pass, and once again, another punt and punting right out of your end zone.
Last week we saw a punt return for a touchdown by Jamari Gassett. It's Kalani Norris who's standing at the Texas Southern 44. This punt is away. Norris has a chance to return, stays on his feet, then takes a lick as he's short of the 30, but about 31 yards away from the end zone. Excellent field position for Florida A&M as you see players that return from last year's SWAC championship team. Also some transfers that came in, 12 from Power 4 programs. So they both reloaded and recharged for 2024.
Yeah, it gives the impression of consistency because you see the 55 players, but 32 new faces. That's a lot of new faces to bring in and establish the winning championship culture that you have here at FAMU. On top of that, a brand new head coach and Coach Colsey.
One of those new faces, the man running the offense, Daniel Richardson, already has a passing touchdown on the day. 3 wide to the top. Richardson not looking that way, throws a bit short, but catch was made by Jalen Ward. Just his 8th catch of the season, goes over 100 yards on that reception.
And Ward that time gave the impression of the go route and quickly stops on the comeback and able to shake the defender to catch the ball.
8-yard reception for Jalen Ward, transfer from Middle Tennessee. Thad Franklin, the former University of Miami running back, who was top 15 at the running back position his year coming out of high school, to the left of Richardson. On play action, Daniel Richardson is flung down. A humongous sack by Keelan Cox.
That's his 4th sack of the year, and Richardson has to have that internal timer. Once you pat that ball 1, 2, and you still haven't released it, you see it on the replay here.
Game is reached.
1, 2. You got to know that the pressure is coming right there.
So an 8-yard loss. It will be 3rd down and 10 for Florida A&M when we return back to Tallahassee. Rattlers leading by a touchdown. First time, he's SWAC Offensive Player of the Week. More than 118 yards and a touchdown last week for Gassett. And the first time we see him will be on this 3rd down after not playing in the first quarter.
Yeah, not sure why. Didn't play, but he's out there now, and I'm sure he's ready to make a mark on homecoming 2024.
Florida A&M was 1 for 3 on 3rd down in the first quarter. They have a 3rd down and 10 to deal with to start the second. Richardson will roll. Pockets moving. Richardson going towards his wide receiver. Quan Lee cannot make a diving catch on the coverage. Was Canary Simmons. 4th down.
He threw that where only Simmons could catch it, so good job there. But if it had been maybe just 2 inches to the inside, could have been a spectacular first down.
First incompletion of the day for Daniel Richardson, but looks like he's going to get another chance. Offense still out on the field. 1 for 1 on 4th down today. One they converted, turned into a touchdown drive that was finished off by the aforementioned Quan Lee. Gassett is in the top of the stack on the left side. Richardson looking to his left, just gets it away, Catch is made, and that will be a first down. Thad Franklin, right place, right time, ran for the first.
Great job by Richardson to keep his eyes upfield. The heat was on. And you see here, almost a sack by Texas Southern, but keeps that head up, down the field. Good job that time by Richardson.
10-yard reception. They needed 10 on fourth down, and the poise evident from a man that's played 4 years of college football in Daniel Richardson. Now at the crest of the red zone, ball at the 21. Richardson gets Texas Southern to jump. Ball thrown towards the end zone. It will be short of the end zone, but is it a catch?
Looks like a catch, but definitely a free play as Texas Southern jumped off sides. And when you have those offensive weapons like FAMU, you'd love to just take a shot with no repercussions involved because it's a free play.
Jeremiah Pruitt was the intended target. Ball was a little bobble.
Defense, number 5. The player was in the neutral zone at the time of the snap. The penalty declined. Play results in a completed pass for a first down.
And so it was a completed pass towards the 5. A 15-yard pass to Jeremiah Pruitt. And Florida A&M knocking on the doorstep of their second touchdown of the day.
Yeah, good pass there, just right on that outside shoulder. Receiver turns and hauls it in, and pretty good position now, right at the 6-yard line.
Pruitt goes in motion. Richardson looking. Richardson fires! Touchdown number 2 for Daniel Richardson. Man on the end of it was Kobe Gross.
Good job rolling out there by Richardson. He had a little bit of pressure, but again, keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for the receiver to break open. You see here, he's going to roll out to the right, pressure right in his face, little pump fake, across his body, touchdown.
Kobe Gross was the number 1 rated tight end coming out of junior college a couple of years ago out of Diablo Valley. Went to Florida State, then decided to come here after just playing on scout team. He's a big target, and Florida A&M has theirs. Florida A&M boots the ball away after their second touchdown drive. This is Sean Xavier Lewis, and Lewis loses his footing, trampling across the 20 to the 25. Now, if you're Texas Southern, a team that has struggled here early on to get things going on the offensive end, have just 1 first down, have found yourself in 3rd down and long on all 3 drives. Want to have some positive plays to start this drive.
I mean, James, they haven't even crossed the 40-yard line yet in this game. Not even knocking on midfield. Nevertheless, thinking about the red zone. We talked about it at the beginning. You have to keep this FAMU defense on their heels a little bit. Can they incorporate more of the passing game to do that? All the passes we have seen so far have been short yardage or either run plays.
Yeah, on the year, they're passing for just 112 yards, which is 12th in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. They start out 5 wide here. Wilson looking for Larry, but he's going down. Quickly brought down in the backfield. And this Florida A&M defense and this front getting after it.
So when you have a top 25 passing defense, you get these coverage sacks. You see Wilson looked primary, secondary receiver. Nothing was there. And by the time he's thinking about a third possible read or to get out of there, he's on the ground with the FAMU sack.
Yeah, Clive Pender with the sack. Coaches call him a havoc creator. And that is a big loss of 6 behind the chains once again.
You see this FAMU defense just creeping up. There's a flag here, but starting to crowd that box as they know that Texas Southern has not shown the ability to pass the ball.
Quintel Quinn toting the rock. Tackle made by Chase Lloyd. There was a flag.
More than 4 players in the backfield. Offense.
And that's something Coach Dishman has talked about. The penalties that have gone against the Tigers this year.
Play results in 3rd down.
Decline that one and have another 3rd and long here for Texas Southern.
So after the short gain, it was a loss of 9 on the sack. It will be 3rd down from the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 15.
And Texas Southern has not shown us that they have a play of the 15-yard variety that we saw in the first period here.
30-second timeout. Texas Southern.
And Texas
First and a
Southern
half.
will take a timeout to try to figure out the play of that variety. But Tolly, what can we see from Texas Southern? They struggle passing the football. They haven't been able to get the running attack going. And how, if any way, can they maybe pick up this 3rd down and try to get a drive going?
Well, when we come back, if they keep the same play call, they have 5 receivers out there, and they have that stack at the top of the field. But they found success on that left side of the line with the couple of runs that they did get for the 1st down. You can't just go to that over and over and over, but these passes out to the flats have not done anything for this FAMU defense at all.
It's Jordan Davis, who had the passing touchdown last week, just waiting for an opportunity for Texas Southern. Jace Wilson manning things right now at the quarterback position on 3rd down and 15. Play is developing. Wilson hit as he throws, and the ball falls incomplete at the 40. Trenton Larry was the intended target, and over there in coverage was TJ Huggins, but the front forcing the errant throw, the key there.
And we talked to the FAMU coaches this week and asked them, hey, a couple of sacks against Southern last week, does that put the taste of blood in the mouths of the defensive line? Is that something, that momentum can carry over? And they said absolutely, and we've seen that so far early. And if you're Texas Southern, you've got to ask yourself, is Wilson the hot hand this week? When you're playing multiple quarterbacks throughout the year, you've got to make a sense that maybe we can switch things up, because if they go down 21 with this offense the way it's performing, that's going to be unsurmountable.
Jamari Gassett, who's a fan favorite, the crowd really got loud when he walked out, had to call for the fair catch at the 48-yard line of Florida A&M. That's where they start their next drive on offense. A&M, Daniel Richardson, dynamic as expected, 11 for 12, 85 yards and 2 touchdown passes here in the first half. He's back out there, 1st down and 10 from the Florida A&M 48. It's Kelvin Dean looking for space, and he's tackled into plus territory at the 49. Dean, graduate student, played at Florida A&M University, and he's a transfer after playing at Rickards High School in Shipley, Florida. 2nd down and 7 for Florida A&M.
Say it out loud again. 13 plays, 13 yards for Texas Southern. James, that's not going to get it done.
Yeah, not going to get the job done at all. Daniel Richardson has a clean pocket, floats one high as he's hit right as he throws. Pocket was clean, then it collapsed rather quickly as
and
3rd down.
Texas Southern has not done a bad job getting pressure on Richardson. He's just able to handle that pressure. It looks like they did get at least a hand there on the release. But the offense it's got to give some support, because this defense is going to get tired. Look, it's Florida. It's November, but it's still hot out there. 3 in, 3 and out each time. That's leaving the defense on the field for a long time.
3rd down and 7 for FAMU. Pressure's coming. It's picked up. Richardson going deep for Somerset. But the ball falls incomplete. Out there in coverage was Canary Simmons. You mentioned the defense standing up. Didn't look tired on that possession as they got some pressure on Richardson.
Yeah, you see right here, right across the face of Richardson, he couldn't quite see where Somerset was. He knew roughly where he was, but didn't get a clean look. And that pass was off. The defense, their 2nd time holding FAMU to a 3 and out. But again, they're going to need some help from their offense and maybe a chance to get a punt return here. Maybe get across that 40-yard line for the first time today.
And that seems to be the chess move for Texas Southern just bringing pressure on these long developing plays for Florida A&M, and it's helped out on these past couple of drives. As Xavier Lewis will let this drop at his team's 11-yard line. And that is not what Coach Disman wants to see in regards to the offensive numbers.
I mean, they're at the 10-yard line. So at this clip, they would have to put together a 90-play drive to get to the end zone, only averaging one per play. Have had success a couple times on some runs to get first down, but virtually nothing out of the passing game here. So it looked very promising on that first drive, on the first play at least, and then things just have been going backwards for the Tigers.
Wilson sends the tight end Jaron Johnson in motion. Quintel Quinn, as soon as he receives the handoff, he is collected by Allen Smith Jr.
And Quinn is giving you just over 60 yards per game. And this Texas Southern team, we talked about this in the early in the game, James. Look, last 3 games they're 2-1. They've been playing pretty well. It will be interesting to see come halftime what adjustments they might make. Still plenty of time to go here in the second quarter, but things not able to get in sync for this offense.
Quinn once again has some space as he makes the cut, and then he is corralled by a couple of orange jerseys. First man there was Justin Bostic for Florida A&M, third down.
And so finally in a position where it's not third and long, it's third and manageable, 3rd and 1. And if Quinn is going to be the hot hand, the hot runner, if you can find more than 1 yard per play running the ball, you might want to stick with that here. At least to move the chains one time, James, to give your offense a little bit of confidence that they can go out here and actually get another first down.
Play clock runs under 4 seconds. Wilson hands to Quinn, and he looks like he's gained enough for the first down as the chains will move, and he got just enough.
I thought it might have been close enough for a measurement, but they're going to give the benefit of the doubt on the spot to Texas Southern.
So the first third down conversion of the day for TSU. Clock runs under 9.5 in the first half. Texas Southern, winners last time out versus Grambling State on a late touchdown drive, trying to knock off Florida A&M, who has the second longest home winning streak in FBS. Quinn, tough yards right through the trenches as he nears the 25. Quinn loses his helmet for the second time today, so he'll have to trot off.
Looks like Charles George, the tight end, is going to come in on this play. And they've gone to Quinn 3 times in a row. He's going to have to sit out this play.
Atheon Renfro is the running back. 2 tight ends once again for Texas Southern, trying to play some bully ball against Florida A&M. Renfro trying the right side. Nice cut to gain yards closer to the 30. Stopped at the 27.
And able to get past that first defender. Not able to get that outside arm free in time to get the tackle. Good for a couple yards.
Another manageable third down, and these are the down and distances that Texas Southern wants to play in because it allows for the entire playbook to be at the disposal of offensive coordinator Steve Smith.
Looks like another run here, or a little play action.
On play action, Wilson trying to set up the screen and just throws the ball away. Was there anyone around? It looked like tight end Charles George was in the area. So it will not be intentional grounding. The officials are huddled up to talk about it.
And you saw that pressure that time. Wilson tried to spin away, and as he spun into more pressure. Ends up with a double pirouette out there and just throws one up.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 16. The ball will be placed at a spot of foul. Loss of down, 4th down.
So after the officials huddled up, they decided that it was intentional grounding. It looked like the tight end was in the area, but because the pass was not made in a fashion he was going towards him, that is why it was deemed intentional grounding. So, a better opportunity for Jamari Gassett, who had a 40-yard return last week, standing at the Texas Southern 49. Jeremy Ramirez gets it away. Gassett should have a chance. Gassett going the wrong way, has just his second touch of the football today, trying to make a play. You feel for him as he's wasn't on the field in the first quarter, but it was a loss of 6.
He was trying to make some magic. He's going to field this right there around midfield, and then he's going to try to go backwards to go forward, but Texas Southern doesn't go for it, so actually loses yardage there on that play.
So Florida A&M will start from their own 42.
But I tell you what, that did nothing to shake the confidence of Gassett. And given the opportunity, he might try that same play again because he knows whenever he can see the defender, he can make something happen.
Right up the middle for Levante Somerset, coming off of 39 yards last week, but the coaches say he's an efficient running back.
See the pull there and opens up that hole on the right side and picks up positive yardage for FAMU.
Somerset will come out. Check that he will stay in. In motion is Gassett. Somerset breaks through the first line. Will he be caught is the question. Makes one move, and Somerset stumbling inside the 5 as he's finally brought down. But a 47-yard rush.
Somerset finds that hole on the left side, and he does the work after that.
Trying to pay it off as he finds his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Florida A&M. There is a flag, however,
Too many men
on the
field.
play.
Too many men on the field for Texas Southern. We saw one of the DBs trying to run off, couldn't get off the field before the ball was hiked. That's going to be against Texas Southern.
There's no foul on the play. Timeout. Texas Southern.
Okay, so they called timeout before
Second timeout.
because they knew he couldn't get off the field in time.
Let's take a look as Levante Somerset broke through the line and he barreled forward, showed his elusiveness as he was looking for his first touchdown of the season, but just could not make it into the end zone. And the Rattlers were trying to get him that first touchdown, but Texas Southern said, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, the defensive lineman of Texas Southern tried to get out there with that arm tackle, but too much speed and nice move on the end to pick up an extra 5 yards and then forcing Texas Southern to burn a timeout. Personnel issue with too many people on the field.
You talked about it earlier. A 21-point deficit will feel like a 42-point deficit with the way that Texas Southern has played on offense early here today. They converted just once on third down. They have just 2 first downs here in this first half. And Florida A&M trying to put it together.
We're not trying to, rain on the parade here, but it's just facts. They haven't crossed the 40-yard line. They can't even get to midfield. And a lot of that credit goes to the FAMU defense. But putting up 21 points in the first half, and Texas Southern with their struggles, this is going to be something different is going to have to happen in the second half.
Well, Levante Somerset stays in at running back, had the long 47-yard rush to set up first down and goal. Jeremiah Pruitt in motion. It will be Somerset as the throw comes to the outside. There is a flag on the play. The touchdown is the call. Daniel Richardson with a dime.
Yeah, they go to the fade there with Gassett coming off of the play action. We'll have to see what the call is.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 3. 15-yard penalty remains. First down.
So a penalty of offensive pass interference wipes away the touchdown.
Not only that, it's going to back them up from inside the 5 to outside of the 15. And it's going to be at the top. And you see the push. We've seen that called, not called, but called on that play.
That's tough for Jalen Ward because it wasn't even like a natural rub. He was just trying to get open and wasn't even the intended target. So now Richardson looking towards the end zone again. And this call is incomplete.
But there was offsides for Texas Southern.
Offside. Defense, number 9. 5-yard penalty. Number 9 was actually in the neutral zone at the time of the snap. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So Jalen Ward was trying to make up for his miscue, and he feels, along with the Florida A&M fans, that there was pass interference in the end zone, but it will be just 5 more yards on the offside by Texas Southern. Still first down and goal outside the 10.
Take 5 back from the 15 that you lost. Still first down. Great opportunity here for FAMU with 4 receivers up top.
Daniel Richardson racing up field. He's brought down at the 5. Looked like he was trying to have a zone read with Somerset. There is a flag, however.
Formation. Offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So the last 3 plays have been penalties, a offensive pass interference, then an offside, and now a illegal formation by Florida A&M.
And that's the second time we've seen that penalty, one against Texas Southern and one against FAMU with more than 4 players in the backfield. So it's been a little irky-jerky the last 4 plays with penalties for FAMU. They were knocking on a potential touchdown and still have the opportunity, but they're going the wrong direction.
And now, just to calm things down, Coach Colsey is going to call a timeout. And that is
30-second timeout.
A good timeout, especially after 3 straight penalties, just trying to regain some momentum and really wind things down as you look to put a big fork in this game.
Yeah.
Timeout on the field.
Jamari Gassett did not play the first quarter. He comes into the second quarter, still not with a catch yet.
So we'll take a break as Florida A&M looks to add to this lead here at home. Coming for Florida A&M, and the fans are still piling in if there's anywhere else to sit. Richardson finds a wide open Jeremiah Pruitt for the touchdown.
And there is no flag. We have another score. And that play dialed up to perfection. Texas Southern loses sight. And that is an easy 6 for FAMU.
17-yard reception for Jeremiah Pruitt, the transfer from Colorado State. And Pruitt just snuck into pay dirt.
See, just gets behind the defender and loses track. Thinks he has help over the top, but there's no one there but the end zone.
Cameron Gillis with the extra point. It's good. The drive, 3 plays, 58 yards in a minute 45. And although we had so many penalties, you could forget about the 47-yard rush by Levante Somerset, which set everything up on that drive. But Richardson, once again, making it look easy.
Yeah, and a clean pocket that time. Did not have the pressure that he has seen on some previous plays, even though he has dealt with that pressure well. But that's just simple catch and throw between Richardson and Pruitt.
Yeah, for more on Jeremiah Pruitt, he's a tight end, but Pruitt only played in 4 games as he had his best showing against Southern last week, 2 receptions for 23 yards. He's been at Florida A&M since 2021, and he has more catches in the past 2 games than he had in his first 3 seasons here. And the coaches talked about all the weapons that they have. We haven't even heard from Carter Johnson, the former Pitt Panther, on the day. So Florida A&M with plenty to put out there. Now Texas Southern trying to get something going. That was Sean Xavier Lewis. A nice return to the 31. There is an injured Rattler laying down just near the 23-yard line. Just taking some extra time to get up.
Good return by Texas Southern. It's going to get them just over the 30-yard line. A first down here will get them over the 40, which will be the first time they've done that today. James, 6 minutes to go. You need something positive. Something on the scoreboard would be great, obviously, but you need some confidence building heading into halftime. You don't want to go into halftime with a big 0. Texas Southern coming into this game had a little bit of chip on their shoulder because they were scheduled as the homecoming opponent. They didn't feel that they've had the type of season where they were going to be anyone's homecoming cupcake, but so far, 21-0, the scoreboard does not lie with what we've seen this afternoon.
The injured player was Jaron Fox, so he's able to walk off the field under his own power. Best starting field position for Texas Southern today at their own 31. Florida A&M will get the ball to start the second half, so it's gut check time right now for the Tigers. A nice play to start. Trenton Leary gains yards to the 40, a 9-yard pickup on first down.
And just a quick out there from Wilson, and you get some blockers in front and quick release and way to move the ball, and very manageable second down here for Texas Southern.
Leary goes in motion. Will be a handoff, and Renfro gains a first down past the 45 to the 46. So just the third first down of the day picked up by Texas Southern, but they're inching towards midfield, and if they can continue to stack plays here, they can put themselves in a position to stay in this game in this first half.
You want to stack plays, you want to build confidence, and ultimately lead to some points and not be down 3 scores. You got 5 minutes here to get things done, knocking on the midfield stripe.
Renfro cannot break free. An excellent open field tackle made by Jameel Sanders, the transfer from South Florida.
And what breaks that play up is the pressure from the FAMU defensive line. Right at the point of the handoff, there's already a defensive lineman in the backfield. That disrupts the timing of the play. Throws a little chaos in the mix, and the secondary help is there for the 2-yard loss.
Coming into today, Sanders had 2.5 tackles for loss. He has 2 TFLs on the occasion. Renfro stays in at running back. 2-yard loss on the play, second down and 12. And now a flag thrown. False start on Texas Southern.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty, second down.
These are pre-snap penalties. These really, really hurt your offense. Coach Dishman talked about it. They have to cut down on penalties, but that has not been the case so far here in the first half.
And again, coaches also call these drive killers, right? You get 2 plays of positivity. You're inching towards midfield, and now 2 negative plays at second down and 17.
Give up penetration on the right side of your offensive line. You follow that up with a penalty, and that's negative yardage on back-to-back plays.
Quick snap. Wilson on the design quarterback run, and Wilson will trot out near the 45, but flags from behind the QB usually means holding, and this would be killer for Texas Southern.
The way Texas Southern is walking back, they understand they are the guilty party here.
Holding. Offense, number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Repeat, second down.
So that wipes away the 7-yard run. Would have been third down and 10, but now it becomes second down and 27. And Texas Southern simply going the wrong way.
And it's got to be baffling on the sideline. You had those 2 plays. You build your confidence. You get the first down. You're right at midfield, and now you're 27 yards away from a first down.
Trenton Leary at the bottom of the screen comes on the dig, makes the catch, and has blockers out in front of him. Leary trying to shift forward, and a necessary stop made by Corey Collier Jr. because Leary had men out in front of him if he could have broke past.
Yeah, and he's really shown a lot of speed. One of the fastest players just comes right over and has opportunity in green grass. It really picks up a lot of chunk yardage there coming across the middle.
A nice play call by Steve Smith to pick up those yards back. Gets them in after what was second down and 27, a manageable third down opportunity. It's third down and 9.
And as an offensive play caller, you want to take your fast players and put them in space, and that pressure unchecked for the sack.
A crushing blow. What a hit made by Nayron Jenkins. Third sack of the day for Florida A&M.
And you see no hat available for Jenkins, and he just comes right on that safety blitz. Football is a game of math. If I can bring more numbers than you have to block, I can get to your quarterback very easily. That's what FAMU does on that play.
And the Rattlers hoping that the math is in their favor on this punt attempt, as there's a flag.
False start. Offense. Multiple players. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
And the Rattlers were trying to shift to give them a more favorable advantage on the punt block attempt. Texas Southern moving prior to that. And after 2 positive plays, now 3 penalties that have really stifled this drive for TSU.
The second quarter has reached the 2-minute timeout.
And we have found ourselves at the 2-minute timeouts with Florida A&M leading 21-0. And the Rattlers about to get the ball back. 40 years, he called the impressive win of Eddie Robinson, where he moved past Bear Bryant for all-time wins in FBS. So an excellent list as Jamari Gassett, again, going the wrong way, trying to make a play, but was brought down.
I told you he would not be afraid to try that again. He was trying to kind of bait the defender there, but he could not reverse field. The turf monster got him. But congratulations to our Hall of Fame class. That is an excellent group. I get to have breakfast a lot with Charlie Neal at our other job, James.
Yeah,
On the weekends, I get to see Charlie a lot down in the hotel lobby. So congrats to him.
Well, right now, Florida A&M could really throw a haymaker. The Rattlers will get the ball to begin the second half. They have 2 timeouts and 1 minute and 52 seconds to drive from their own 23. Richardson on the roll, fires outside. An easy pitch and catch made to Marquise Bell. Bell, the transfer from Old Dominion. That's what you want to do on these 2-minute drives. Just complete that first pass and get some momentum.
And a very young Tolly Carr as a Winston-Salem State freshman. I had Pete Richardson as my health instructor his last year as head coach at Winston-Salem State before he came to Southern. Had him for an 8 o'clock class. I quickly realized 8 o'clock in college is not 8 o'clock in high school.
Definitely not.
8 a.m. in the morning. In college, that's a totally different 8 a.m. Than it is in any other part of your life.
And, of course, Richardson would go on to Southern, winning multiple SWAC championships, Black National championships. That last catch was made by Marquise Bell for a first down. Another throw to the outside. This catch, a strong one made in traffic by Goldie Lawrence. Clock is ticking, though, for Florida A&M.
Yeah, FAMU trying to get the ball out on the perimeter to get the ball out of bounds. As they run that 2-minute offense, but that one's going to eat up some clock as the tackle was made inbounds.
Clock runs under a minute on this snap. Richardson deciding to throw. Kelvin Dean dropped that, and it might have been for the better for the Rattlers.
Yeah, Richardson stepped up through that pressure and committed to the pass right at the last second, but Dean not able to haul it in, but he would have been tackled inbounds as well. So good call there, James.
58 seconds remaining. Texas Southern does have 1 timeout. Would love to get the ball back and do something here at the end of this half. Florida A&M would love to score more points and push this lead out a little bit further.
But at the very least, not give Texas Southern the ball back.
Richardson fires over the middle. It's picked off. intercepted by Texas Southern. And that was the safety, Xavier Cately, who stepped in front and ripped it out of the air.
And just as soon as we say it, you don't want to give Texas Southern the ball back. They cue it up with an interception and their best field position of the game. Get it however you can get it. This time, good read, good pick. Texas Southern has 52 seconds and maybe feeling as confident as they have felt for this entire first half after that turnover.
Cately, his first interception this season, and that's just the 6th pick thrown by Richardson all year. But the defense stepping up here late for Texas Southern. And now an opportunity for the Tigers in plus territory for the first time today.
And you're not going to get it dinking and dunking in 52 seconds. We haven't seen Texas Southern take a shot downfield. Will they do it here?
Blocked up well. Here's that shot. And a pass breakup. TJ Huggins got his hands on it. But Savion Sims was the intended target.
And Sims does his job, gets behind the defense. If you put another yard in the air on that ball, potentially a Texas Southern touchdown.
Reception. Now it's 2nd down and 10 from the 43. In plus territory, Wilson once again has some time. Good coverage, however. So Wilson will just waltz out of bounds. 3rd down for Texas Southern and 10.
Good job to stop the clock, getting the ball out of bounds. Going to get an opportunity for another shot here. But you got to find something that might work because you have yeoman's work to do in the second half. Down by 3 touchdowns. You get what feels like a bonus possession after the first defensive turnover of the game for Texas Southern.
Entire field is open for Texas Southern with that 1 timeout remaining. But can they push the ball downfield against Florida A&M, whose defense is 3rd in the conference in pass defense?
30-second timeout. FAMU.
You got the speed of Leary out there, the 5'9", 155-pound wide receiver from Austin, Texas. He had a big pickup on that previous drive before all the penalties started sending Texas Southern in the wrong direction. I would look for something to try to get the ball in his hands, give him a little space and opportunity to make something happen, especially with an option out on the perimeter to maybe step out of bounds if he can't get past the defenders.
Both bands will be playing at halftime.
The Ocean of Soul making the trip, James, from Houston, from H-Town.
That is a long drive. I have done it, and it's more than 12 hours.
I do not envy you for that. But it's always good when you get 2 bands, get a little competition, and the Ocean of Soul looking to hold their own against the iconic Marching 100 at halftime today for FAMU's homecoming.
Leary goes in motion, and Texas Southern decides to run on 3rd down. Clock will roll.
It's going to run the clock is what that's going to do. So we're under 25 seconds now, and Texas Southern does not look to be in a rush here.
So after taking 2 shots, Texas Southern decides to go into the break down these 3 scores and will look to reconvene at halftime.
And the question will be, will we see another change at quarterback? Will Wilson come back out? The offense
30-second timeout.
Not able to do much here in the first half, if anything at all.
Well, TSU just called a timeout. They have attempted 3 50-yard field goals this season. Gustavo Romero is 0 for 3 from 50-plus.
So if you let the clock run down to 3, there is the potential you're just going to go out here and maybe try a Hail Mary and know that that'll be the last play of the game and hope that FAMU doesn't get a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown. You won't leave them any time to come out and take another offensive snap, or maybe you just run it out here. We'll see.
So Wilson has come out. Ball still sitting at the 43. What does Texas Southern have cooked up on what will be our final play of the half, barring a defensive penalty?
Hey, we all saw Washington last week, right?
Wilson firing off to the left side. This will be picked off, and Florida A&M has a chance. Intercepted by the Rattlers. And there is a flag on the play, but the interception was made. And that will be the final play of the half. By Pepsi and its Texas Southern's Ocean of Soul. Florida A&M's marching 100.
Homecoming. he, he was on the grill.
Take a look at the quarterback comparison. Daniel Richardson, as good as advertised, 3 first-half touchdowns. And Jace Wilson, who is making his third start, the transfer from Furman, struggled in the first half. He threw that interception, but that was at the end of the quarter. But only 20 passing yards, not going to get the job done, trying to stay alive in the SWAC. Currently finding themselves behind Alcorn State and Southern.
Yeah, well, none of the play design was really structured to go downfield, or at least if some of those options were there, they weren't open. A lot of short passes, a lot of running, and we talked about this. Look, Wilson can throw the ball. Last year, the SWAC Newcomer of the Year threw for 1,773 yards. He had 10 touchdowns in 11 games. That's 161 yards per game. But this year, only averaging 56 yards per game. Different personnel last year. Ladarius Owen was the rushing leader in the SWAC. He averaged about 124 yards per game. He's not on the team this year, so it's obviously a different look, different staff. Lots of things are different, but FAMU is going to have to do what they did in the first half, and Texas Southern is going to have to find something different because it resulted in no points in the first half.
There was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of the first half. That's why Texas Southern was kicking from the 50-yard line. A touchback by the Rattlers, and Florida A&M trots out for their first drive of the second half. Daniel Richardson, who played at Florida Atlantic, played at Central Michigan, threw for more than 7,000 yards at those two stops, came here in the portal and wanted to put together a professional-looking season. He's done just that up to this point. Off the 25, Richardson firing downfield, has a man wide open. Jamari Gassett fumbling the ball at the end of the play, and now Gassett struggling on the field.
I would not be surprised if he didn't fall on top of that football. It's been known to knock the wind out of people when you fall and that ball is right under your stomach and you fall on top. We have a chance to see it right here, but this is going to be his first catch, a little in, then back out. And so he's past the defense and makes a man miss. And then, well, he didn't fall on the football. It was stripped away, but that strong punch of the football might have hit Gassett in the stomach there as the ball was jarred away.
Yeah, Jamerson Darrensburg made the tackle, which jarred the ball loose. It was a 35-yard reception by Gassett, and he is helped to his feet and is going to try to run it off. We mentioned that he didn't play the first quarter and had minimal opportunities in the second quarter, so he's just chomping at the bit to make some plays here on homecoming. It's Kalani Norris, who came in and returned punts for him in that first half, is now going to be at the bottom of your screen as Gassett needing some more help on the sideline. First down and 10 in plus territory at the 40. Norris goes in motion. It will be a run as Kelvin Dean steps through a tackle. Dean tiptoeing on the sideline, and he falls forward to the 10.
Good foot control when he gets on that sideline, not allowing his momentum to take him out of bounds and fighting for extra yardage to get inside the 10-yard line. It's been an excellent day running the football. One of our keys to the game for FAMU, keep that offense balanced, and they've done just that today, James.
Yeah, this is going to be a 30-yard rush, and the misdirection you saw, everything going one way, and Dean took it through the hole, coming the other. Stays in at running back. Florida A&M in the red zone. Richardson finds Dean again. A little shake, and Kelvin Dean into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida A&M.
And a quick strike by the Rattlers. The ability of Dean to make that first defender miss really opened up the potential for that play. And he's able to trot it into the end zone. And we have seen the FAMU offense on fire here today. And you see Dean just rolls out. Watch him make the defender miss right here. Has some blockers up front, and he just bounces like a pinball right into the end zone.
Had a receiving touchdown last week, has one this week. And Kelvin Dean makes this a 4-score game, as Daniel Richardson now has 4 passing touchdowns today. The extra point is up and good from Cameron Gillis. And exactly how you want to start the second half for Florida A&M. They lead by 4 scores here on homecoming.
Seemed to be injured on the fall. He fumbled the ball out of bounds. FAMU holds on to the possession, goes on to score, but you don't need Gassett. You just really didn't need him at all today. Didn't play that first quarter. You're up by 4 touchdowns. He is definitely a piece you want to preserve for the remainder of the season.
John Xavier Lewis breaks through. Lewis stays on his feet, and Lewis is slung down well in plus territory at the 25. The best thing that's happened for Texas Southern today.
By far, they're looking at a 4-score deficit, have not been able to move the ball, and just like that, an explosive return on the kickoff. James, this puts them in a position to maybe do something offensively and get some points on the board. And, I mean, a touchdown would be a big boost of confidence to Texas Southern as they are just 4 yards outside of the red zone. You see the return right there. The punter did a good job at least getting in the way and slowing them up. FAMU with the touchdown-saving tackle there.
A return of 67 yards. Quintel Quinn is bottled up. Jameel Sanders, his 3rd tackle for loss today. A loss of 1 makes it 2nd down and 11.
Good shoestring tackle there. Good form. Gets in there and holds up Quintel by the ankle and brings him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And now a flag for the snap of the football.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And we saw this in the first half, Tolly. It was a first down that was picked up, then a negative play, then a penalty that pushed Texas Southern back and completely stifled any momentum moving forward, trying not to have the same thing happen right now.
I mean, it's the most predictable thing of the afternoon. Texas Southern does something positive and then negates it with the penalty, now facing a 2nd down and 16 outside of the red zone.
7th penalty of the day for Texas Southern. Wilson on the draw, hands off to Quintel Quinn, and Quinn around the bend. Quintel Quinn pushed out at the 5. A 1st down and goal upcoming for the Tigers.
And the timing of that play really caught FAMU off guard. You see there as he bounces to the outside, gets a bit of a block from the receiver and just inside the 5-yard line. This is the best position Texas Southern has been in all afternoon long.
Their longest offensive play of the day, 1st down and goal from the 5. Quintel Quinn right up the gut, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and goal upcoming.
So now you got a shorter field, and this is obviously going to make the box more crowded. So you kind of don't have as many options when you have less field to work with. But FAMU's defense is going to try to go into bend, don't break mode. They would love to pitch a shutout here at homecoming, but Texas Southern says, we've been on the snide long enough. We need to get something going here early in the 3rd quarter.
It was a come-from-behind win last week against Grambling State that helped them to 2 wins in their last 3 games, trying not to go away quietly here in Tallahassee. On 2nd down and goal, Wilson throws the back shoulder throw, and it is caught. Touchdown, Texas Southern. Donald McKinney with the reception.
An excellent back shoulder throw that time by Wilson, and that's what you want on that type of play. Put it where only your teammate can catch it, and he put that one on the money, and just like that, Texas Southern is showing signs of life here at FAMU's homecoming.
The Tigers with a huge play on special teams of 67 yards. Then Quintel Quinn, the longest offensive play of the day to set them up on 1st and goal. And Jace Wilson, perfectly placed ball to Donald McKinney for the touchdown.
And you often see this type of shift of energy at big games like homecoming. Everyone was up. The climax of the game was the halftime performance. You have both bands out there. There's a little bit of a lull. And it opens up opportunity for the visiting team, and we see that for Texas Southern.
And smiles on the sidelines for Jace Wilson. What must that mean not only for him but for this entire team after such a struggle in the first half offensively?
Well, you want to win the second half. The first half is in the books. There's nothing you can do about that, and this is the play that really sets it up here. Again, good job by the punter, just slowing him up enough for that not to be a touchdown, but Texas Southern goes on the score. But that initial block opened things up on the return, and then there's the back shoulder pass in the end zone, clearly a touchdown. And look, for Wilson, this gives him confidence. We were thinking, hey, does he even get the start in the second half? Does Texas Southern have to mix things up and get a different look? But they come out, take advantage of the positive kickoff return, and then they handle their business inside the red zone.
The Ocean of Soul bringing some flavor to the fans that traveled from Houston, Texas. That drive was 4 plays, 24 yards in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And now the Tigers boot the ball away to Florida A&M, looking to match their return. And unable to break through was the wide receiver, Robert Lockhart. Some pushing and shoving at the conclusion of the return. And there is life in Texas Southern. Florida A&M trying to continue their success on the day as they're back on offense.
And Texas Southern has shown defensively that they can apply some pressure. Richardson has just done such a good job of keeping his eyes downfield and stepping up in that pressure. So let's see if the Tigers can elevate what they do defensively and gas it back on the field so that injury is not going to keep him back from the previous series.
Rattlers throwing, gas it, quick catch. And he's slung out of bounds, making sure that he is back and ready to go. Xavier Cately, who had the interception in the first half, making the tackle, will be second down and about 5 for Florida A&M.
And also this is important for Texas Southern because we saw, James, at the end of the first half, they looked almost defeated, just letting the clock run out to go for just one Hail Mary when they had about 28 seconds there. But coming out with a little more swag here after that return in the third quarter.
Richardson throws an interception. Jaden Williams makes the pick, and Williams racing forward. Oh, my. The second interception of the day for this Tigers defense. We said that the Tigers have life. Well, that heart is pumping for TSU.
And Richardson on that pass put a little too much air on the ball. That allowed the defender to run underneath. You're going to see it here as he releases, and it just hangs in the air, and you see the defender come across the field, racing back upfield. Another opportunity here for Texas Southern.
A 33-yard return for Jaden Williams. Played at Miami of Ohio, and now making plays for Texas Southern. So back-to-back drives starting in plus territory for Texas Southern. Ball sitting on the 25. A handoff to Quintel Quinn. He stood up at the line, but chugging forward and falls at the 20. So a 5-yard pickup. And this is a completely different Texas Southern team here to start the second half.
Well, look, it sounds so cliche when these coaches say offense, defense, special teams, but that's what we're seeing right here. Complementary football, special teams doing the offense a favor, defense doing the offense a favor. Now the offense has to do their part and take advantage of this positive field position.
Quintel Quinn once again getting an opportunity. Just a yard to the 19. Texas Southern back in the red zone. But Florida A&M trying to hold as their offense is sputtering just a bit.
Well, they go to Quinn twice, able to get just a couple yards each time. So now they're facing a 3rd and 4. They have found a little bit of success on the perimeter with some of their short passes and even taking a strike at the end zone on that last play. Well, last series, rather.
Quinn had to come out, so Xavier Lewis, who had the big return, comes in. Wilson under pressure. Wilson, a nice move to stay on his feet. Jace Wilson just scampers out of bounds.
I tell you, Chase Wilson looked a lot like vintage Russell Wilson on his escapability there, but not able to find anything downfield. So good pressure by FAMU, even better coverage in the secondary, forcing Wilson out of bounds.
Looking rather spry as he spun out of a potential tackle, but nobody on that side of the field. And because he didn't throw the ball away, it's a loss of 8 when he went out of bounds. Offense is still on the field, and that is something that is going to negatively impact this play as the play clock now at 3, at 2, and Texas Southern has to take a timeout.
Texas Southern.
So you kind of think about probability here. Like, what is the probability that Texas Southern can win this game based on the decision making here? Do you go for the field goal? Do you try to get another touchdown? You're kind of in that position where it's 4-down territory here if you're not going to go for the field goal. But they got to get back into this game. Still a lot of time left here. 8:09 to go in the third quarter.
And that's why coaches talk about the little things, right? Wilson does all that work to get out of trouble, but by not throwing the ball away, it's still simple. It's almost as if he took the sack because you lose the yardage anyway. So now they're talking on the sideline about what to do. We've seen Trenton Leary in these situations on a crossing route or getting him the ball in space. We saw the back shoulder to Donald McKinney on the touchdown. What does Texas Southern cook up here needing 13 yards,
Well, I like anything going with Leary because Trenton Leary is definitely your speed option there. He's going to line up in Texas Southern Tigers. It looked very dismal for them starting the third quarter. FAMU comes out and scores another touchdown, and all of a sudden, Tigers with life here.
Another chance to return for Robert Lockhart, and Robert Lockhart turns on the Jets.
There's a flag down, though.
See you later. Touchdown, Florida A&M, but there is a flag sitting on the 34-yard line.
And that flag was thrown well away from the ball from where he was running. It would not have impacted the play. It would not have helped FAMU at all. But the flag was thrown. We'll see what the call is.
So the officials are conferring.
After further discussion, there is no foul for holding. The play results in a 6-point score.
Robert Lockhart takes it to the house, and Florida A&M throws a haymaker right as Texas Southern was getting off the mat.
Well, special teams have been special for both teams here in the third quarter. And that was an appropriate answer for FAMU as they were taking some body blows from Texas Southern, but they come back with the touchdown to give it a little more space.
Florida A&M scoring twice here in this half. They scored on their first drive, and Robert Lockhart with the return of 95 yards. The extra point is up and good. And when you make plays, you get the chain. And Robert Lockhart, well deserving of the hardware after this return.
He looks like he wants some oxygen more than the chain. He needs to get his breath back. He's a little tired and well deserved after that run. But there you go. That's what your friends do. Even when you have to lay down on the ground. Hey, fix your chain, man. Your chain was in a bad spot there.
First kickoff return for a touchdown this season. Special teams provided a touchdown last week. Jamari Gassett had the punt return. And Coach Colsey talked to us about how the special teams could also be a spark for Florida A&M. We've talked very highly of the offense today. They made a couple of mistakes in this second half, but the special teams coming to fruition here for Florida A&M.
Yep, last week able to get a special teams touchdown on that punt return by Gassett, and then today, here, we just saw it, the kickoff return for 6.
We've had an explosion of scoring to start this third quarter. What more do we have in store between FAMU and Texas Southern? One thing we have not seen from TSU all day is them drive the ball down the field. Their defense and special teams have put them in advantageous positions on their last two drives. Can they put a drive together? We'll have an answer to that question right now. Unless Sean Xavier Lewis has another big return. Lewis setting up again. Lewis, he wants another. Wow! A touchdown for Sean Xavier Lewis. No flags.
James, what is the probability that we would see back-to-back kickoff returns for touchdowns? Whatever it was, we accomplished it because we have it. You see here, from the 10, and like a rocket, right there's the hole. That missed tackle leaves the punter, and the punter just gets obliterated. Easy march in for the touchdown.
Lewis wasn't going to get stopped this time. 90 yards to the house. Now has 157 return yards, 1 TD, and an avalanche of scoring here on the hill in Tallahassee. Ball's down, kick is up, and the extra point is good from Gustavo Romero. Strap yourselves in because
this is an entirely different team. This is an entirely different game here in the third quarter.
Daniel Richardson's last pass was an interception thrown to Jaden Williams. Richardson, however, does have 4 passing TDs on the day. It's a season high for Daniel Richardson in regards to passing touchdowns, as the ball needs to be placed closer to the left hash. So that is being conducted. Now Florida A&M will look to trounce the momentum of Texas Southern, as they have scored 21 points in a matter of minutes. Thad Franklin lowers his shoulder, and he takes the ball across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
And we can't talk about, the effort or intensity of FAMU changing. It's just Texas Southern has come out and taken advantage of some good opportunities. But the energy of the game, the energy of the crowd, everyone at halftime felt like, all right, let's start thinking about what we're going to do after the game. And Texas Southern said, well, hold on. We still have 2 quarters left to play.
7-yard gain for Franklin on first down. 2nd down and 3. Richardson looking to throw, and this ball is tipped, and Kobe Gross was the intended target. Ball is incomplete. Excellent coverage by Canary Simmons. 3rd down.
Yeah, Gross only able to get one hand on that. He was going to need to channel his inner OBJ to bring that one in. But imagine the scenario that this could present if FAMU goes 3 and out here and give Texas Southern the ball with some confidence.
And Sean Xavier Lewis is the punt returner, so he's very dangerous.
I would maybe not kick it to him.
Florida A&M shouldn't let him touch the ball for the remainder of the game. On 3rd down, Richardson rolling, fires, and that's a low ball, but it's caught shorts of right at the 45, by Marquise Bell. 1st down picked up by the Rattlers.
A good way to change the pace there for FAMU, rolling that pocket to the right. Richardson really excellent, being able to deliver the ball on the move, picking up the 1st down there.
This is also what Florida A&M wants to do to regain the pace. It really went into overdrive with the returns by Texas Southern, the interception that was thrown. The pace now slowing down, trying to be a little bit more methodical. Richardson on the drop back.
Good protection.
Lots of time. Now Daniel Richardson will race towards the 50. He stopped right at the 49. 2nd down and manageable upcoming for Florida A&M.
Really good job in the backfield there, delivering multiple blocks to give Richardson time. Didn't see anything downfield and just kind of makes his way over to that right sideline.
4-yard gain on the Scramble by Richardson. Norris goes in motion. It will be Franklin around the right side. And Thad Franklin picking up yards past the 45 to the 43 for a first down.
Franklin has great size as a running back. He's 6'1", 230, has speed. That's a lot of man to bring down at 6'1" and 230 as a running back.
And there's a reason he was the 11th ranked running back in his class by 24/7 Sports. Originally went to the University of Miami and has found his way here to Florida A&M. First down and 10, officially at the 42-yard line. Florida A&M has already scored an offensive touchdown in this half. Now Richardson. Another ball. This one's perfect. Excellent pitch and catch as he found Goldie Lawrence.
And got it right over the top of the DB who was in coverage underneath and just puts it right in the pocket right there on the sideline.
20-yard pitch and catch between he and Lawrence.
FAMU not in a rush, letting that clock move. There's still a lot of game to go, but they don't want to give any extra possessions to Texas Southern. They have the lead here.
Low snap picked up by Richardson. Going to the end zone. Touchdown! Florida A&M. Jalen Ward picks it out of the air.
Jalen Ward had that penalty in the first half. He was kind of down about that. He's been able to make good on that from that pass interference call. And you see here, he's going to streak up the sideline, blow past the defender, behind two defenders, right there in the corner for the touchdown.
Fifth passing touchdown of the day for Daniel Richardson as he is locked in for Florida A&M.
As the sun is going down in Tallahassee, will the confidence start to take a dip for Texas Southern as FAMU's offense continues to put points on the board?
Back up by 3 scores, 42-21. Rattlers are in front. And this explosion of offense, this is the first time this season that Florida A&M has scored more than 30 points. That drive was 7 plays, 75 yards, in 3 minutes and 8 seconds.
But the thing about the resurgence of Texas Southern here in the third quarter, everything has to go right. They have to get the kickoff return right. They have to get the punt return right. The defense needs to get a turnover. You need a big play on offense. I don't know how sustainable that is for every single aspect and phase of the game to go perfect for Texas Southern.
Well, Sean Xavier Lewis is standing at his own 5. He's the farthest man back. Trenton Leary has done a couple of good things on offense. Also starting to step back.
I might squib this. I might let one of the up linemen catch it or try to get it on that corner there.
Texas Southern will have a return. And the big tight end trying to do his best Sean Xavier Lewis impression takes it to the 35. But we have had a lot of scoring here in this third quarter. Just take a peek.
See Texas Southern there, back shoulder pass, and the offense showing that it can get the ball into the end zone. And this one, man, little providence there. Little skill, little luck on that one.
And then special teams took over as Florida A&M's Robert Lockhart racing off the left side. Sean Xavier Lewis said, I need my chance. And Lewis took it for 90 yards to the house. And we just saw this beautiful ball from Daniel Richardson to Jalen Ward. For down by these 3 scores, and the clock's going to run under 3 at the conclusion of this play.
And that's something that the safeties are doing there with Wilson to give him that pre-snap look where they're creeping up towards the box and then dropping back in coverage.
Jeremy Ramirez has had a bit of trouble today because of the rush of this punt team for Florida A&M. Back to booted away. Punt safe. for Florida A&M. Gassett brings it in at the 24. Now let's take a look at the upcoming SWAC schedule, which is presented by Pepsi. Some important matchups as we talk about Florida A&M trying to find its way back to the top of the SWAC. They have Prairie View next week, and Southern trying to stay undefeated in SWAC play has Bethune next week themselves.
Yeah, that's going to be a big matchup. Jackson State and Mississippi Valley State. Valley's a little bit of a struggle this year, but I will say this. Each season, Valley catches somebody.
Now first down and 10 from the 24. Florida A&M decides to go to the ground, and it
Number 23.
feeling like things have returned to the mean after Florida A&M marched down on that last drive, going to try to methodically work the clock once again, leading by these 3 scores.
Yeah, like we said, Texas Southern, put those points up, but they needed everything, all the stars to line up perfectly for that to happen. It's not like the offense has been putting together 70, 80-yard drives. Not to say that they couldn't put one together before the game is over, but FAMU is definitely going to want to use some clock here, get out of this third quarter, and take it home in the final frame.
Richardson has a wide open man, Jalen Ward, who just caught that touchdown, takes it out of bounds at the 43. First down picked up by Florida A&M. 15-yard reception for Ward, the transfer from Middle Tennessee.
James, as the sun goes down, we are also going to bid adieu to daylight savings time. Got to set our clocks back tonight. And, yeah, tomorrow it starts getting dark around 4 o'clock. Too soon.
Things getting dark for Texas Southern if Florida A&M was to score on this drive. Screen is set up. Catch is made. And Jalen Ward somersaults forward to the 42. Ward has been receiving the lion's share of the targets here in the second half, and he's made the most of it.
Yeah, and that catch was all fingers. I mean, it was right in front of him. Not able to use his body or anything. Just has to stretch it out and bring that ball in. Then finds the angle against the defense to pick up positive yards.
Back-to-back first downs picked up by Ward. Florida A&M putting together another drive. Daniel Richardson has been excellent today. 5 passing touchdowns to his credit. That's a season high. Richardson once again looking to go to the air. Has a wide open man and overthrew Jeremiah Pruitt. That was supposed to be touchdown number 6.
I mean, if he takes 1 yard off of that pass, we're looking at 6. But just a streak right down the hash mark. It's on the go route and almost on the money, but not quite.
This is becoming a trend now in regards to these go balls. Something that Florida A&M saw within the week, understanding what they can get from Texas Southern. This time, ball's thrown outside to Kobe Gross. Makes a strong catch. And speaking of strength, he's still on his feet as he taking Texas Southern defenders short of the 20 at the 22. It took 3 men to bring him down. That's why he's flexing after picking up the first.
I mean, he looked like an ox on this play. You see the first missed tackle.
Player downfield, number 56, offense.
But it's all for naught.
Penalty. Mays, second down.
So after all of that strength, he will have to take steps back as there is an illegal man downfield for Florida A&M. Ball moving behind the 45 to the 47. It'll be second down and long for the Rattlers.
They'll have to get this one off. The clock is winding down, but there's about a 5-second difference with the play clock and the game clock. But FAMU not in a rush here.
And that is Levante Somerset, the final play of the third quarter.
The end of the third
6
quarter.
scores in the third quarter. What does the fourth have for us? As Texas Southern found some offense, Florida A&M steady as she goes, trying to put the finishing touches on a homecoming. Welcome back to Florida A&M homecoming. We had 6 scores, 3 from FAMU, 3 from Texas Southern in that third quarter. Florida A&M trying to put the finishing touches on a homecoming win here in the fourth, leading 42-21 on top of TSU. James Hadnot here with you, Tolly Carr with me, our fantastic ESPN Plus crew. SWAC football presented by Pepsi. Daniel Richardson racing right up the middle, and Richardson showcasing his wheels. Picks up a first down on third, right to the 27.
Yep, didn't see anything downfield, but he did see green grass and a hole in front. He takes off, and he makes sure to get the slide in before anyone gets close because he had the first down. Breaking that first arm tackle there was key to moving the chains for FAMU.
Richardson still with negative yards rushing on the season after rushing for just 8, but that'll help his tally.
But you saw the wheels.
Yeah, we saw it.
You saw it.
That helps the total.
You know, those sacks, man, they just,
They hurt him.
No, he wasn't trying to rush on those sacks. It just counts against him.
On first down, Lockhart.
Oh, good bounce off of that tackle.
Bounces off a tackle. That looked like it might have been a halfback pass potentially, but Lockhart looked up, didn't see what he liked, and took it around the left side. Lockhart has the return touchdown for Florida A&M on the day and picks up a first down to the 17.
And you see the speed on that sweep there, and he just hit that hole, accelerated, and then able to take the contact and pick up a couple more yards to finish off the play.
Well, Florida A&M in the red zone and trying to throw an early knockout punch to Texas Southern, who really showcased a lot of spunk in that third quarter. On first down, it's Franklin. And Franklin with sweet feet as he stays up to the 11.
And you saw Franklin really measuring where his opportunity was. Kind of little pause there mid-run, waiting for the block to develop downfield, and picks up the yardage. Good patience there on the run.
Ashton Garble needing some extra help to get up. Franklin once again, a strong body. Coaches say he's a bruiser type, but when you are 6'1", 230, makes sense.
And he doesn't let his height work against him. You know, sometimes guys, out there tall at those positions don't have that bendability.
30-second timeout.
But he can really get it done, man.
First of the half.
Play clock was running down. Richardson, like a veteran would, not wanting to lose any yards, called timeout. So the score 42-21. It will be second down and 4 when we return. Florida A&M knocking on the door once again. In the red zone are the Rattlers trying to add to this 3-score lead. Daniel Richardson, 5 passing touchdowns on the day. Fits one in and staying on his feet.
Almost.
Just stood up at the 1. That's Jeremiah Pruitt, who was looking for his second of the day.
Pruitt said, if I'm this close, I might as well score. Trying to drag defenders with him in the end zone. See here, he spins off the first. He has to get past 4 guys. Not able to do it, but good effort there.
Going to the ground are the Rattlers. Touchdown, Florida A&M, as FAMU extends this lead.
Really an easy job there, just to punch it in right there at the 1-yard line. And boy, we are flirting with a 50-piece today here at Rattler homecoming.
Thad Franklin with the rushing touchdown. That's his 3rd of the season. And Florida A&M coming into today hadn't scored more than 30 points in a game. They're looking to make it 49 here with the extra point. They do just that. And it's been a happy, happy homecoming for the Rattlers faithful. Time for Florida A&M The Rattlers lead 49-21, most points in a game scored this season for FAMU. Texas Southern has had its best opportunities in special teams, and this ball is once again brought in with a chance for a return.
Well, not a touchdown, but positive yardage across midfield. And you talked about a happy homecoming. The Marching 100 paying tribute to Frankie Beverly and Mays had a good rendition of Happy Feelings in case you missed that one at halftime. Great job by both bands. Ocean of Soul here as well. And, man, really enjoyed the festivities here halftime at Bragg Stadium.
Absolutely. That return by the tight end, Cordell Rogers, brings the ball into plus territory, and that's really been the best offense for Texas Southern today, utilizing their special teams.
Yeah, special teams and defense has gotten it done here. In the second half, I feel like FAMU maybe can breathe a sigh of relief, but let's see if Texas Southern has one more explosive output or two left in them.
This would be the guy to do it, Sean Xavier Lewis. He had the return touchdown back in the third quarter, also had a long return of 67 yards, which set up the first touchdown by Jace Wilson. So with him in the game, you want to get your playmakers the ball, and he just picked up a couple. It will be 2nd down and 6. Was everyone set?
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
The answer is no. Another false start, the 8th penalty of the day for Texas Southern.
And the majority of those have been false starts by Texas Southern. They just have really struggled with that today.
Yeah, procedure penalties, whether it's been a false start or 4 men in the backfield, illegal formation, that has really hampered the ability for Texas Southern to get their offense rolling. Wilson's numbers, a couple of touchdown passes on the day to Donald McKinney, but those have been due to special teams setting them up and an interception that set them up in plus territory. Wilson showing off his legs right now, and Jace Wilson still rolling forward. So why throw when you can run? Jace Wilson takes it to the 20.
And that's something Wilson did on that play that he didn't do earlier in the game. Earlier, he kept looking for his reads when the pressure came. This time, he sees the pressure, and he says, man, how about I just run the ball here? Waits on his block downfield, and that block there got him an extra 15 yards.
31-yard rush by Jace Wilson. You mentioned if Texas Southern still had a punch to throw, this will be a draw. Sean Xavier Lewis finds space to the outside. Will be close if it's a first down or not.
And when you look at just the offense of Texas Southern, this has been their best drive of the day, not dependent upon the defense or special teams, really to move the ball down the field.
9-yard pickup for Lewis. 2nd down and 1. Lewis again, a bullet right up the middle, but he was hit as he crossed the 10, stopped at the 8. That's a first down, and it's 1st down and goal for Texas Southern.
I don't know that Texas Southern has enough time to win this game, but one thing is for sure, FAMU will know that the Tigers were here, especially in the second half.
Clock runs under 10 minutes. It's a 4-score game, so TSU has to get cooking quickly.
A one-on-one coverage on the outside. We saw that back shoulder throw. It was good for a touchdown before.
Wilson goes to his knees to give it to Quintel Quinn, and he squirts forward for the touchdown.
No pass needed. Quinn getting it done on the run. And more points here at Bragg Stadium in an explosive second half.
Quintel Quinn found his way through that arm tackle, would not be denied. And Texas Southern has a pulse once again.
And we're entering the phase of the game where you're going to have to start thinking about maybe something from your trick box a little bit, onside kick or something to try to give yourself some extra possessions, activities. And, man, little did we know that the best would come in the third quarter and into the fourth quarter. It's the tale of two halves here.
This is Lockhart, who has a return touchdown on the day and finds some space to the outside. There is a flag that's resting on the 19. There was a flag on the return touchdown by Lockhart that was waved off. There was no holding. And we'll have to wait and see if this return will get wiped away.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 43, 10-yard penalty, first down, from 28-yard line.
So the ball will be placed at the 18. That's where Florida A&M has to start. Well, in these moments, this is really the danger zone for Texas Southern. You have your 2 timeouts. Are you going to get 3 possessions? You're probably going to need a turnover because it makes sense why they kick the ball deep, but they have to create a negative play if they want to have any chance here for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and if you're FAMU, you are not in any rush. You want to let that play clock run. You want to keep the ball inbounds. You still want to move the chains, but you want to get out of here without any more threats from Texas Southern.
Numbers near the line, running still. Thad Franklin, he has nowhere to go. Nice, strong tackle by Sincere Massey. Clock runs under 9.5. Second down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup.
You see what FAMU is doing. They're getting the play in from the sideline. No rush. It's been 20 seconds since the last play ended. And I would bet they're going to use as much of this play clock here as they can.
Franklin trying the left side, and Thad Franklin is just cut down at the 40. A touchdown saving tackle made by Canary Simmons, but a humongous gain made by Franklin.
And you see Franklin gets behind those linemen. There's the hole. He gets those knees up, and he is gone.
23-yard rush by Thad Franklin. As a team, more than 180 rushing yards on the day, and FAMU averages just less than 94. The rushing attack was something that they wanted to really put out there today, and they've done just that. This time, Franklin taking his time, allowing his blocking to set up, but Sincere Massey once again will chomp down on Franklin along with Brian Booker, the defensive lineman.
And that was a good job. Patience by Franklin as he waited for TJ Lee. The pulling guard on that play comes around, gets in front of Franklin, and picks up 3, but again, keeps the ball in bounds, keeps the clock running.
Second down and 7. Extra lineman in. Kelvin Dean is being wrestled down, and Sincere Massey has made the last 3 plays. This time he had some help as Josiah Hardman was also there. Third down. Clock's going to run under 7.5, but Texas Southern can get a stop here.
Crucial play for the Texas Southern defense. If they can get the ball back here, it will at the very least keep things interesting. Crucial play, obviously, from FAMU's standpoint. If they get a first down, an opportunity to run even more clock.
Kelvin Dean is the running back, the MVP of the Celebration Bowl last year. Pop pass coming forward, and the first down is picked up. Shimmying free was Goldie Lawrence. And again, a very calm play that was made, a safe play on the jet sweep motion.
Yeah, and the one thing that FAMU does well with the jet sweep, they use it as a distraction a lot against the defense. And you never know if that's the play they're going to go to. They've actually done a little misdirection off that jet sweep twice for big running plays, but this time they actually go with it, and it picks up the first down.
Ball to 39 in Texas Southern territory. Another handoff, this time to Dean, and Dean gets the edge and scampers out of bounds at the 31.
So that first down was really the play. I think that's going to take the final bit of air out of the sails of Texas Southern.
8-yard pickup for Dean. And again, very methodical for Florida A&M.
This is a very manageable 2nd down and 2 opportunity to pick up another first down here and continuing to move that clock.
Dean reverses fields and loses a yard. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And he may have had more success if he would have stuck with his initial instinct and been able to maybe fight for those 2 yards. But when he reversed field, that really took him out of contention for picking up that first down. And now it comes down to a 3rd down opportunity for FAMU to move the chains and continue to move the clock.
7 rushes on this drive, no passes as you would expect. Extra lineman on the right side of the line is Ricky Taylor. Franklin hit, stopped, and Florida A&M will be short of the first down. Chandler, McGee, and Brian Booker both help out on the tackle. It's 4th down, and Coach Dishman not using a timeout. Precious time running off as Florida A&M's offense does stay on the field. This also could be to run down these precious seconds.
And you've seen Texas Southern, suffer from a lot of penalties. Maybe an opportunity to try to draw them off sides here. And they're just going to let this run down before they call timeout.
Timeout called by Coach Colsey.
30-second timeout. Florida A&M.
So
Second and a half.
3 scores, 4.5 left in the game, and Texas Southern has 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Things looking more miraculous. That's what they would need
Yeah.
at this point.
All I need is a miracle.
But if you're Florida A&M and Texas Southern, when you look back at this matchup, you're going to see some good things, especially for FAMU from your quarterback, Daniel Richardson. Had the interception in the second half, but that was really his only mistake on the day. And if you're Texas Southern, you found something in special teams with Xavier Lewis. And it's just how can you be more consistent on the offensive end? How can you stack plays together to have longer drives? Right now it's 4th down and 4. Richardson goes under center. Florida A&M will go for it. Easy throw out the right side. Jeremiah Pruitt picks up the first down, and that might do it for Florida A&M.
Yeah, FAMU sucks the defense in on that. And then Pruitt just pops out from the backfield, takes the reception just past the first down marker. FAMU should be able to milk the clock here in the last 4 minutes and leave very few options on the table for Texas Southern.
Jeremiah Pruitt had the huge first down on 4th down way back in the first quarter, which turned into the first touchdown drive and also started this largest scoring output on the season for the Rattlers. Now it's 1st down and 10 past the 30 at the 29.
Quarterback change for FAMU.
And an opportunity for some backups to get some burn right now.
It's Junior Maritovich, who started the season. Many thought he would be the starter in camp. He was the incumbent as far as the most experience coming back, but Richardson wins that job, but a very experienced backup in Junior Maritovich.
Dorian Collier just had that last rush. Maritovich.
Personal foul. Number 69. Offense. Playing without a helmet. Continuing to play without a helmet. 15-yard penalty. Repeat. 1st down.
And that's one of those rules that I know players really dislike because they don't want to stop playing. They really don't realize. I wouldn't say they don't realize that they don't have a helmet, but they don't realize that they can't keep playing without a helmet. That's one that you can't really fault the player.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to protect the player from themselves. You could suffer a serious head injury out there without a helmet, but man, that's a lifetime of muscle memory you're asking someone to just get rid of in a split second.
Maritovich out there at quarterback.
And what do you do? Do you just lay down? Do you step out? It's a very it's a very hard thing to do. Like stop playing. See Coach Colsey there, still coaching his guys up as they're leading 49-28 with just over 3.5 to go. A lot of Rattlers, I would say all Rattlers will leave today's homecoming game happy with the outcome.
So after the personal foul penalty, it's first down from the 40. Another rush for Florida A&M. And there is a hard hit that was put down by Javius Williams. But here is today's player of the game, which is brought to you by Gatorade. As you would expect, the man with multiple touchdown passes today, Daniel Richardson.
Yeah, really just a day of days here and a special day to have it on homecoming. 5 touchdown passes, 25 of 33, 267 yards. He just left the game after FAMU got that crucial 4th down conversion for the first, but man, he did his damage today. Richardson finding the end zone, finding his receivers. He is our player of the game.
And Daniel Richardson was a consistent starter when he played at Central Michigan. He threw for more than 40 touchdown passes at Central Michigan before transferring to Florida Atlantic last year, playing under Tom Herman. Wanted to make another move here to Florida A&M because he wanted to have the opportunity to play for a championship. And he's just consistently continued to be a top-notch, not only quarterback, but player in this league.
Well, I don't know what Coach Colsey's rules are, but I know that players can't enjoy and take part of homecoming activities during the week. But whatever is left to enjoy tonight, I think they have earned it and deserve to enjoy just one evening of homecoming after this big offensive output here today.
Yeah, Coach Colsey told us that was the main thing this week. Leave the raw alone. Let's stick to business. It's still going to be homecoming once we're done with the game, and you can tell by the scoreboard that Florida A&M did not come to play today. They have been all business with this big lead here in the 4th quarter. It's 3rd down and 9. That last catch was made by Norris.
Hey, in the pregame, we enjoyed the sounds of some homecoming from the live stage here on campus. James, you were the only person that knew who was performing, even after you told me. I still had no idea who it was, but hey, it was a good time.
On this draw, a nice little move to the outside. Another first down's picked up, and that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. Lola Brooke was the person on the main stage.
Very talented.
He has this great song that's titled FAMU.
And that's really an impressive streak, just to have everything go right at home for that many games in a row. Really a testament to this Rattler program.
There's nowhere to go for Keyshawn Wicks as we take a look at Texas Southern's remaining schedule. They have Alcorn State, Bethune-Cookman, and Arkansas Pine Bluff. And will be a tough sled down the stretch as Bethune-Cookman just got that win today versus Grambling.
Texas Southern.
Wow, Grambling started out the season on fire. It's been a tough way to go here in the last few weeks for them, but Alcorn State, the team to beat here in the division. That's going to be a tough one for Texas Southern, and you could never, ever sleep on the offensive weapons of UAPB.
Yeah, Giovanni Gibson and Makai Hagens. Hagens, the quarterback, and Gibson, the wide receiver. Coming into today, the only person Gibson led the league in receiving yards, and Jamari Gassett was second in receiving yards. And we barely called his name today, but Florida A&M still has 49 points, which shows you how explosive this Rattlers offense is.
We talked about those receivers. There were 9 guys that had at least one catch last week, and it is really a unit that can get it done here in the SWAC for FAMU.
Muratovic will have a throw. Catch is made. Still rumbling forward. Looks like the fullback, Andrew Ritter, also plays tight end. As we take a look at Florida A&M's remaining schedule, of course, they had the game rescheduled. Alabama A&M, that's going to be played on November 29th. And they have a favorable schedule down the stretch, taking on A&M, Valley, and Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, the Florida Classic, obviously the big one on the board there as far as fan interest. But hey, Prairie View just barely held off
Play
Valley
result.
by 1
The
point
first
this
down.
week. So
After
is
the play,
Valley coming
personal
into their
foul.
own? Prairie View, a tough team, and
Offense, number 66. 15-yard penalty, first down. First.
the marching 100 taking everyone to church here in the final few minutes, James.
Nothing like a little church music from the Marching 100.
Yes, and being a country boy myself, I recognize that one. He's an on-time God. That was their rendition there. A very popular song on Sunday in pews across America.
First down and goal after a couple of penalties pushed Florida A&M back to the 20. It's Muratovic who's in the game. Daniel Richardson's day is done after tossing 5 touchdown passes today, more than 260 passing yards. Wicks shifting inside, and he is slung down past the 20, picks up 1 yard on the play. And looks like Texas Southern is going to take their final timeout.
Third and final timeout called by Texas Southern.
And we had an expectation maybe that Florida A&M was going to kneel the ball a couple of times, and that was going to be if Texas Southern didn't take the timeouts. Well, they took them, so that's why they're still running these important offensive plays, and it's going to be third down right now.
Yeah, they were
put 142 on the game clock. 142.
Flirting with the 50-piece. You want to have, respect for your opponent. You don't want to run the score up. There are unwritten rules in the game of football.
And numerically speaking, these are some of the best numbers for Florida A&M going back 5 years. The 50 points. The last time they scored 50 was back in 2019 when they scored 52 versus Delaware State. They're trying to eclipse that number if they were to score a touchdown.
But hey, James, across the HBCU landscape today, we saw a team score 91 points. So it's been a high offense day in HBCU football.
Yeah, Virginia Union putting up 91 on Bluefield State, setting up the big matchup next week between both Virginia State and Virginia Union for a spot in the CIAA championship game. It's officially second down and 9. Norris comes in motion. Wicks slowly ducks his head behind the line, then dives forward. Clock will run and take this under a minute to play. We move to third down.
And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast, but after the Florida Classic, there's the Alabama A&M game. That's a makeup because it was had to be rescheduled from the hurricane earlier in the season. And, that takes FAMU out of any potential FCS playoff scenarios because that game would be a conflict with the playoffs.
Muratovic fires, and now the ball falls incomplete, so it will be fourth down. And will the field goal unit come out? Will Florida A&M run another offensive play? And the field goal unit will come out. So Florida A&M will try to match their highest point total since 2019. They already have most yards since 2021 when they put up 570 versus Arkansas Pine Bluff with 528 to date. Jeremiah Pruitt late to run out onto the field. 2 seconds, 1 second, and we might have a delay of game penalty for Florida A&M.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
So this 36-yard 36-yard field goal attempt will turn into a little bit longer.
You know, I personally don't have a problem. It's you come out here to play, you come out here to score points. You know, that 50 could be tempting. I don't know, but this is game pressure practice for your kicker.
It's a 39-yard field goal attempt. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is straight through. So Cameron Gillis, who was 1 for 1 last week, now 9 for 11 on the season in field goals. And we will have a return. Texas Southern, who has a return touchdown on the day, trying to get on the board again. Everyone getting a chance to score today as Gillis right through the wickets.
He said, ballin'. Well, we'll see if we'll have a quick, terse handshake here when the game is over.
We already saw something yesterday between South Florida and Florida Atlantic. Tom Herman was not happy with how quick the handshake was between he and USF's head coach. And so we'll have to wait and see.
Hey, we have seen some interesting post-game handshakes in the SWAC before.
That is for sure. So Gillis is preparing to kick the ball away. It does not look like Sean Xavier Lewis is out to receive. So it will be somebody else to have an opportunity for Texas Southern. Trenton Leary waves his hands, and that's going to be a fair catch. And with 46 seconds and no timeouts, let's see what Texas Southern decides to do. This has been an exciting matchup. We had 42 total points in the third quarter. That really brought some life back into this stadium as Florida A&M went up 28-0. Texas Southern made it 28-14. But as you can see, Florida A&M pushed the lead out a little bit farther and then have continued in front. Jace Wilson with 2 passing touchdowns on the day is back to throw. Little throw over the middle. Ball falls incomplete. Intended target was Joseph Bongono.
Hey, that third quarter was good for hot dog sales. Fans couldn't leave. It looked like FAMU was going to run away with things, but fans had to stick around. Couldn't drift back to the tailgate.
Which, with all the appetizing food out there, no, that was something that was in the back of their minds. On second down and 10, Wilson throws it up for grabs, incomplete. No one really in the area as Donald McKinney, who has the 2 receiving touchdowns on the day, was the intended target.
Please refrain from playing while they're at the line of scrimmage.
Marching 100 is being told to turn down, but
they're about to turn up.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
We're on the precipice of the 5th quarter. There are rules to this. They're not going to turn down with 37 seconds left.
Not going to happen.
And at this point, like,
why?
Yeah.
Why turn down?
Why even ask?
On third down, it will be a run, and that should be the final play of today.
Well, I hope fans enjoyed this one at home. I think everyone who paid for a ticket got their money's worth. That was quite the third quarter there, James.
Florida A&M ties the 52-point mark back in 2019 with Delaware State. It's the first time they scored 50 since that date. They continue their winning streak. This is now 23 straight games victorious at home. And the final here on homecoming, Florida A&M 52, Texas Southern 28.
It was an anemic Texas Southern offense in the first half. In the second half, things really got rolling in that third quarter. but it was complimentary football for Texas Southern. It was not something they could sustain with things going perfectly on special teams, defense, and offense for the duration of the game in the second half.
Coach Colsey was looking for Coach Dishman, you see. And the two will shake hands at the conclusion of this one.
And a hug.
A nice embrace as well as the two communicate. In the second half, FAMU outscored Texas Southern by just 3. It was 31-28. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the SWAC present.